What's going on, guys? Lucasaurus Rex here, coming to you with another Force of Will deck profile. This is my cousin's Alice Cthulhu deck, and he's just going to get straight into it.
Okay, so the ruler I play is Alice, citing Vlad. Alice's both the red and the black abilities are incredibly relevant. Discarding a card and shooting something for 1,000 are both good. And because of my stone deck, I can actually trigger any of her other abilities if I need to.
Okay,
so for the stone deck, I'm playing 4 Scorching Bales. It's red-black, so you play 4. 2 Moonshade. Only playing this because seeing the red and the black real as early as possible is incredibly important. So I have 6 red or black stones, and then these are also, if I need to, I can trigger the white and blue abilities, and I guess the green one, but I've never really had to trigger the green one. But I trigger white and blue a lot, so those are nice. 1 little red. The pump is actually very, very important in this deck for 1 card. And then this lets me see red or black, so like I'm guaranteed black turn 1. That's the whole point of this deck. And then if I need to, I need to be able to see red at least by turn 2. And then I'm playing 3 basic black stones because the black turn 1 is the most important in the deck. So no basic reds because I don't want to ever see red turn 1 if I can help it. So this deck is incarnation based, so all of my large creatures are incarnators. What Incarnation does is you can sack a creature of the appropriate color to pay for it instead of paying the mana cost, so it lets you drop big creatures early. So I'm playing 4 Nyarlathotep. She lets you look at your opponent's hand and take a card out of it and discard it. Which, if you drop her turn 2 with 2 Resonators, that's like insanely good, because there's no way your opponent, for the most part, has set up their hand most of the time. And set up like an unbeatable board by turn 1, especially if you're on the play. If you're on the draw, it's not as good, but if you're on the play, this is just insanely good turn 2.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then I'm playing 3 Byaki. She's a little difficult because she requires double black, but most of my incarnators or incarnation fighters are black. She's a 9/9. You can rest her to. She's a 9/9 flyer, which is really good turn 2, which is insanely aggressive. And then she can also rest herself to give something else 9/9 in flying, which is also really, really good. So she allows you to deal with things like Bahamut, or she allows you just to swing over for game and whatnot. So that's pretty much self-explanatory. That's all she does.
Pretty good.
This is the reason I play the little red. Keep him out of bolt range. He's the only card in my deck that's bolt relevant. Essentially, Thunder, Demon Flame, any of those things. He's the only relevant target for it. I guess Guinevere, but anyway.
Yeah.
He gets her out of that range too. So he's just enter, kill a creature without a resonator, or kill a creature without an addition, or resonator without an addition, which actually has come up. The addition thing has actually come up more than I thought it would. So I might end up cutting him to 2 and just playing. But for now, 3's fine. He just comes in, kills the guy. Just more options with the killing, with the incarnation. And right now I'm playing 2 Yogg Sothoth. He requires 3 to incarnate, which isn't as hard as you think it is. When he enters, he's Dark Pulse. He kills everything that costs 2 or less, and he's a 15/15 with Pierce. And usually you sack all your dudes that cost 2 or less, so that's usually not relevant to you. So it's really just a Dark Pulse. And against something like Knights of the Round Table, dropping this turn 3 on them after they've got like Lancelot, Percival, and Gawain or something on the board, and just like wiping their board is just really satisfying.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's all my incarnators. For the fodder, I'm playing 4 Rasputin. This is the hands down the best one ever. Whenever it hits the grave from the field, you can pay 200 life to add it back to your hand. So this one's a direct there's no minus in this at all. The other option is called Shantak, which you have to discard a card to do, which means it does eventually drain on your resources. This has no loss of advantage at all. You sack it to Guinevere, you sack it to Resonators, you just chump block with it. It's fantastic. This is why you want to see the black turn 1 guaranteed. And you mulligan very aggressively to get this card.
Yeah.
Then I'm playing for my other black incarnation fodder 4 King in yellow. He's kind of like Rasputin, except he has a limited number of uses. Whenever he hits the grave, he just gets them to copy themselves. So I mean, it does pay for itself immediately. So I mean, all my incarnator food, like also like none of these cards are like, unless you know I don't have a follow-up play, you're not gonna want to Thunder or Demon Flame or anything to these things because they'll just replace themselves. You lose a card, I don't.
Yeah.
So that makes these all. That's why keeping Hoster out of Thunder range is important. I'm only playing 3 Rook Egg. I don't want to have the red opening. I don't want to rely on seeing red turn 1, so I technically only have 6 sources for it, so I don't want to open with just this. So I'm playing 3 of these. It's basically a 1-drop King in yellow, but it's red, and it can also, the third one, if I need to, it can tutor a Hoster because he's red and black, but mostly it just tutors itself. Just basically a 1-drop King in yellow.
Yeah, that card's pretty silly.
Now I'm playing 2 Mozart. This is non-targeting removal, so for things like Mephistopheles or
Cheshire.
well, I mean, it's not really care that much about Cheshire. Mainly Mephistopheles, but also, I mean, it's just another kill. If you sack this over Hoster, you take 2 guys. Sacking this over Nyarlathotep's really good because you kill a guy and take a card out of their hand. Like the only thing is they get to choose. So decks that flood the field, they don't. It's not as good against them. But this is fantastic against control.
Yeah.
Like control hate effects like this.
Absolutely.
So that's all of my Incarnator foods, and then I'm playing 2 Guinevere. She can also be. I mean, I incarnate her too. I incarnate her too as well. But she also doubles as like an incarnation outlet. So like if I have this set up, they swing. If they're only creature, I can go sack, draw 2, discard 1. You lose a creature, or with Rasputin or Rook Egg or King in Yellow. Any of them. It doesn't matter. She's good, and you can also incarnate with her when you're done. I usually only use her like once, maybe twice, and I'll incarnate with her.
Yeah.
Our recent edition. It's 40 Thieves. One problem I've had in this deck is either drawing all Incarnation fodder or all Incarnators, and not the ability to use one or the other. Which I didn't think it would come up that much since I'm running like half and half, but it actually has. So this lets you draw 2, discard 2, so you get deeper into the deck. You discard your extra Incarnating fodders or your extra Incarnators, and then you can incarnate with it.
Yeah.
And then so I'm playing red. I'm playing 4 Thunder, standard kind of thing. Only 2 Flame of the Outer World. I don't have a third one. I would probably play 3 if I had 3. But yeah, I would probably cut. I'm not exactly sure what probably a Hoster for another one of these, just because this is probably better than Hoster. Then I'm playing 2 Stoning. I mean, I'm guaranteed black every turn. Like all of my mana sources or all my will sources are black.
Yeah.
So or can be black, but so this being double black's not an issue at all.
Makes
and
sense.
then I'm playing 3 Spiral into Despair or Spiral of Despair. This is just your opponent discards 2. It's a great follow up after Nyarlathotep. So like if you go turn 1 Rasputin, turn 2 King in Yellow Nyarlathotep, turn 3 Spiral. I mean you've taken 3 cards out of their hand minus whatever they're going to play. And late game, or especially against Control, resolving one of these early is really, really good because Control like to keep a lot of cards in hand, and they want to like kind of risk reward min max their cards for advantage. So like against Control, resolving this early when they can't cake zone you is insanely good.
Absolutely.
The side deck is I don't have it put together, but it's just Vlad, Helsing, 2 or 3 Dark Pulses. And a few other burn cards, like Purifying Fire, and I don't run Split because it's double red, and I play 6 non-basic stones, so it'll often hurt me more than help me. But aside from that, it's just a bunch of just generic red and black cards.
All right. Well, you have fun playing this deck?
Oh yeah, it's really fun. Being able to cheat out things like Byaki really, really early is nice.
Oh yeah. Well, if you want any more Force of Will content, just let me know in the comment section below. And remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And this is Lucasaurus Rex, signing out.